everyone, welcome once again to TDL Live. I'm Ryan Ritchie, Adam Ford with me.
Howdy.
And it is Cinco De Mayo.
Better believe it.
It is the 5th of May, the Macs are partying. They're having an I party, no one's ever said that before. Very clever, putting I in front of a word.
Yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying some Coronas or margaritas right now.
And if you're not, you should be, because it really makes the show that much more smooth.
That's right.
As it were. Or caliente.
That's
means
right.
hot.
That does mean hot.
I'll tell you what else is hot.
Tell me.
iPod game reviews.
That's right.
We got a lot to cover tonight, but we're going to start with a little bit of news from right here at home on the digitallifestyle.tv. Very, very excited to tell you that after my thumb and Mac Girl's thumbs are kind of messed up, calloused, but we have completed all of the iPod games, and you can read all the reviews if you head over to the games page, games.html, the digitallifestyle.tv, and then just click on games.
That's even better.
Woo, it's Cinco de Mayo. Cut us a break, folks. We started a little early. So that's what's new on iPod games. We're going to talk about the iPhone coming to a new territory, some of the other tech stuff going on. You might have heard a little something about Yahoo and Microsoft. We'll get into all of that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Some changes with iTunes and purchasing movies, which of course means we're probably going to bring up Superbad again.
We'll get there.
And some news about Adobe, as well as, I'm going to call him, although he could probably kill me, I'm going to call him Apple fanboy Trent Reznor. We'll get to that as well.
Oh, all right.
Yikes. But first, Canadian viewers, do they celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
Why not?
About as much as we do.
Yeah, why?
News for you, exciting news about the iPhone. It is coming north.
Coming to a store near you.
Thanks to the good folks at Rogers, which from what I've heard,
Roger that.
people aren't real thrilled with Rogers in Canada. The big problem is the limits on data plans, and so we'll have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, you just can't do that with this phone.
I should also take a moment to remind everyone you can talk live with us via AOL Instant Messenger or iChat. The name is TDL Live. 2 L's.
That's right.
Because we've got extra love for you. Cinco de Mayo! Okay, so the iPhone is coming. Now, it was a teaser. Ted Rogers, who, interestingly enough, heads up Rogers Communication, put out this little teaser, hey, the iPhone's coming, but we can't say anything else, as if that would keep the wrath of Steve away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm sure he's fine with that. Just put that up. That'll be cool.
He has press people to handle inquiries and such.
He says, we can't tell you any more about it right now, but stay tuned. I would say stay tuned to the Developers Conference coming up in June.
Hey, when is that? When is that going to be?
You know what? I don't know off the top of my head. But I know how I can find out.
You should check your dashboard there.
What are you talking about?
So head over to the homepage, digitallifestyle.tv, and right beneath the player there's a link to download our countdown widget. So you can install and run our countdown widget so you won't have to count those days manually. Right
down to the start of the Developers Conference and maybe the keynote.
Yeah. I think so.
Do we know what it counts down
I'm pretty sure it's the keynote.
Okay, cool.
Assuming the keynote's on the right day.
All right, perfect. So you'll know within a day of when WWDC starts.
That's right.
Perfect. Moving on with the news, iPhone news. Boy, I tell you what, we had what I can only describe as what, a Wi-Fi tease this week with the iPhone.
Yeah.
So last week actually, the news came after our show because. And by the way, before I go any further, thanks to Apple for moving up the product releases to Monday so we can cover it on Monday nights.
Yeah,
they got the memo.
That's way more convenient for us.
To not do it on Tuesdays. We
Definitely.
appreciate that. But on Tuesday came news that AT&T was providing free Wi-Fi access for iPhone users at Starbucks and Barnes & Noble. Right. And of course, I know this is something we've talked about here on the show before. It's frustrating that it's not available for free. I sent you a euphoric email. I knew you'd be excited about it. Fast forward 3 or 4 days, it's gone.
It's gone. Sorry. We couldn't handle it.
What's going on there, you think?
We couldn't handle it. We just couldn't handle it. We're a telecommunications company, and we couldn't handle all of the...
Oh, you mean AT&T?
All of the interneting.
Okay. I thought you meant you and I couldn't handle it.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well, I think we handled it nicely.
Well, we tried to. So before I could even get to my local Barnes & Noble or Starbucks to try it out...
They pulled the plug on you.
Shut down. And so the question is, Was it launched early? Is it because it turns out there's a loophole that basically how it authenticated was you'd put in your phone number. So if I knew your phone number and that you had an iPhone, I could be in there with another device and put that phone number.
Yeah, that just seems awful. It should probably be a combination of the device and the phone number. It should be almost like...
It should be able to detect what kind of device.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, that's a standard web sort of thing to be able to tell what browsers, you know, knocking on your door.
Sure.
So it should know that it's, you know, Safari on the iPhone, and then it should know that, okay, now I have to authenticate with my phone number. And you know what? Even if it made you sign into, like, your AT&T account, or you had to set up an AT&T account, you know, for your, you know, like your account where you can view your bill and pay your bill. If you had to set up that ahead of time and like turn the feature on or something like that, I don't know. I feel like there should be some kind of easy way of doing this.
So there might be. I mean, this might have been a testing thing. We'll have to wait and see. Or here's a crazy idea. Why not just let anyone use it?
Listen.
Sorry. Gone too far.
We are iPhone users. We demand more than everybody else.
Deserve it. So, here's my brain teaser for you. That's not really, it's just a question. What do you think about people with what the H are those things called? The touches. iPod Touch. I dropped the consonant.
What do I think about those?
Show.
What do I think about those people? I think they're great.
Do you think they should be able to access the Wi-Fi hotspot? They're not necessarily AT&T subscribers. They did indeed pay a premium for an Apple device.
Right. Well, it depends. It depends on how you're marketing this, and you know, I know that AT&T and Apple are sort of in bed, so you know, maybe it's part of the deal.
Baby bells.
I don't even know what that means. So yes, I don't know. I think that it's I think they should. Do you need a moment?
See, the Bell telephone system was then split up into smaller companies called the Baby Bells, and I'm saying if AT&T is in... Okay, we're moving on. iTunes. One of the complaints I know we've had about iTunes and purchasing movies has been the lag time. There's been this 30-day...
Yep.
I don't know, buffer or penalty or whatever you want to call it, because the studios were convinced that...
It's a 30-day inconvenience is what it is.
That's really what it is.
That's what it is.
We're essentially convinced that, well, you know, maybe they'll run out and buy the DVD in those 30 days and then buy the digital movie too. Because you know they're making at least as much, if not more, on the digital copy. And we'll get to that too, because there was a story that apparently Apple is selling the movies at a loss, which I find hard to believe. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So, I know you've had some concerns about buying movies.
Yeah.
You want to bring everyone up to speed on your favorite movie of choice?
I will.
What you discovered?
I'll truncate it. There's a good blog post on it. Head over to the blog, digitallifestyle.tv. Click on blog. You'll find it there. But I had some concerns about the movie store. In particular, the movie that I was interested in purchasing was Superbad, which had been released. It had been more than 30 days.
Yes.
And we were talking about it for weeks, where you could only rent it, and there was no indication of when you could buy it.
So we're here, we're getting ready to start the show, and I say, hey Adam, why don't you see if Superbad is available for sale?
Right. Yes, it is.
Eureka.
It is available for sale finally. Better late than never, I always say. But you can't rent it anymore. Gone.
This is a week of gotchas. You have
something.
iPhone Wi-Fi, and then it's gone. You have the rental Superbad, and it's taken away.
I mean, I feel like it almost should be like April Fool's or something.
Cinco de Mayo.
It is Cinco de Mayo. So, I mean, it's like a little early, like way early for April Fool's.
Might be a little late.
Wow.
Because you gotta go all the way around the horn again.
Depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
You are.
So yeah, now you can buy it. You can't rent it. You could only rent it before, but not buy it. It's like, I don't understand. And there's like no explanation. That's the tough part. It's not like click here to figure out how this stuff works.
Right.
Right. I don't know.
So look on the blog. But just to clarify this, so on Thursday, this is from Macworld. Apple announced that new movie releases will be available for purchase same day as they're available on DVD. Studios signed on, basically all the major studios: 20th Century Fox, Disney, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, and Sony. Lionsgate, Image, and First Look. as well. Now, new releases are priced at $14.99 each.
Yes.
Which DVD prices I've noticed on new releases have creeped up a little bit.
Like in the 20s, right?
Yeah, $18.99 is cheap at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
$21.99. There was a different article saying that Apple is selling these digital copies at a slight loss.
Yeah,
how is that possible?
I don't know. It has to be, unless it's something with the.
I mean, obviously it's the amount of money the studios are getting per
the data, like the bandwidth stuff. But I can't imagine. I mean, they have bajillion lines, so I don't know what.
It's a drop in the bucket, and again, you can always go back to the silo and take out a few billion from if you need to pay for extra bandwidth.
Right.
So I think it has to be a price that the studios set. It's almost as if maybe they tried to set it so high to kind of dissuade Apple from doing it, because they're so convinced that the money is in the DVDs, and I don't know why. Now, that said, as a consumer, I prefer a DVD currently.
Do you?
Currently.
Okay.
Extra features.
Right.
The ability to play it in the TV, play it in the computer, play it where I want to. I can make a backup copy in case I lose the DVD or it gets scratched.
Right. Well, you don't have to worry about scratching the digital copy.
Well, I don't, but my hard drive goes.
Unless you digitally scratch it, which that's a whole other discussion.
But if my hard drive goes,
right,
it's gone.
You should have backed up.
Time machine.
You should have backed up.
Wow.
You should back up.
Yes.
Everybody.
Anyhow.
Back that Mac up.
Once you back up the... I don't know.
Anyway.
Okay, so the point here is iTunes, it's great that you can now buy movies the same day as the DVD release. However, there are certainly still some hiccups in the system.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to figuring out, can I rent a movie? Can I buy a movie? When can I rent it? When can I buy it?
Yeah, confusing. I just wish that there would be some semblance of explanation. I don't know.
I would like to see, I know they do this occasionally with albums, but why not let me pre-order? Or give me a date? Or let me get on, be on a list and say, hey, I want to buy this movie. Notify me when it's available.
Oh yeah, I mean, even if it just had like a little tag next to the posting of the movie, it says, hey, available to buy on X date, which apparently you can now buy on X date, which is given, but maybe they'll withhold renting ability for a while. And when can I rent it?
And one other note about buying movies from Apple also came out this week, that you can now buy the movies directly using Apple TV.
Yep.
Which makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why shouldn't you be able to?
Done. Moving on.
I played with Apple TV for the first time this weekend.
I hear that might be a blog entry.
Yes, it will be a blog entry. Check back later this week.
Okay.
First impressions, pretty cool. Pretty slick little device.
And speaking of later this week, although if you're not watching us live, you might be able to see it now. I understand you're going to have another installment of...
My Boam.
My Boam.
My Boam. Or Mind Your Business on a Mac.
Yes.
Talking about CRM software, customer relationship management.
Thank you.
The first of two posts is already up there. You can check it out over at the blog. And the second one should be up there tomorrow. Check back tomorrow afternoon.
There you go. It's a very noble goal.
It will. I guarantee it will be there.
I want to take a moment to say hello to a few user groups that have been spreading the word about the show.
Right on.
We do appreciate that. Up first, hello to the AAUG, which is the Alaska Apple Users Group.
Oh.
And Chris is the president there. You can find out more at akappleug.org. AK Alaska, Apple, the company.
Yeah.
UG User Group.
That makes sense to me.
.org.
I like it.
If you're in the frozen Northwest, although that's a stereotype, and frankly the Northwest is Washington and Oregon. So you probably don't want to join the Alaskan User Group.
Well, we don't like to be correct too many times on the show, so.
Keep it nice.
That's right.
Nice and easy. Also want to say hello to the State Line Mac User Group, and John Wood is the president there. State Line Mac User Group, Rockford, Illinois, which you don't need a map to know that it's by the state line. Hence the name. Otherwise, it's a really ridiculous name for the group, John. If you're right in the middle of the state, it doesn't make any sense. What else you got for us?
Adobe. So we've been talking about Flash and having Flash on the iPhone, and really that being the true internet in your pocket. Steve says the internet in your pocket, and right now it's missing Flash. So the skimmed down version for mobile devices, people seem to think that that's a no-fly zone for the iPhone. So. Oh my.
No fly zone.
No fly zone.
In the pants.
That's right.
Flash in the pocket. No fly zone.
Yes. So Adobe is working to, I think, address this problem, and they're currently in the midst of developing Flash, a more robust version of Flash for mobile devices.
It's called their Open Screen Initiative, and as part of this, they're also taking away the licensing fees associated with providing the Flash content on mobile devices. Now, aside from this, there are some rumblings. We're going to keep an eye on this coming up this week. The investigative team will be on it. And there are some rumblings that Adobe is kind of giving some thought to sort of making Flash an open standard. I would be shocked to see it happen, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a developing story. We'll keep an eye on it. See where it heads. You're saying no.
Mm-mm. Flash and open standard?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
But what do they gain by keeping it closed at this point?
Well, it's their gig. It's it's like paramount to the internet now. They have a lot of control that way.
But they're not. I mean, the player's free.
The player's free. Yep.
So
I don't.
No.
I just don't. I don't see it.
Okay. But that's all Web 2.0. You give everything away for free. Put it where you want to. Which reminds me, speaking of putting it where you want to, our player is embeddable.
It is.
So you can click on the menu button, head to the embedding options, and if you want to add, imagine, if you will, here's a scenario. You've got a website. Someone who trusts you to find great things on the internet goes to your website, and this is what they see.
Perfect. What could be better? What could be better?
It's a rhetorical.
Honestly.
You don't really want an answer to that?
Not really.
The Nin. Are you into the Nin? The 9-inch nails?
Sure.
Trent Reznor, big Apple fan, and has done some cool stuff with Apple in the past. He released, I believe it was an entire album as GarageBand, in GarageBand form, so people could remix it and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, we've had stories lately. They did an album. 9-inch Nails did an album earlier this year in which it was Name Your Own Price.
Yep.
There was also the In Rainbows album from Radiohead. But now, today, it was a bit of a surprise. Trent Reznor says, here's a new album, and it's free. Don't even try to pay me. I won't let you.
He's always doing cool stuff. I really liked the sort of pick your own price model. I think if he incorporates the two and says, you can have it for free, or you can pick your own price if you really think this is excellent.
But if he's making the choice to not have anyone pay, so be it. Take it.
No, yeah,
the amazing
absolutely.
thing about it is it's actually high definition audio. It's a 1.2 gigabyte download if you want the whole high resolution audio, or you can get high quality MP3 or AAC files if you want to. It's still gimmicky though.
It's gimmicky, but you know what? If you're 9-inch Nails at this point,
well, sure.
Yeah, these are liberties you can take.
Sure, but I still don't think it's at a point where just any artist can come up and start giving away the music for free. JoJo,
right.
That's for the tweeners, the tweens. JoJo can't be giving away her music for free. It is a her, is that correct? Yes, Matt Girl says yes.
Well, you know, I mean, a lot of people are getting their start in free, free content on like MySpace and things like that. So it's not even too far in at the other end of the spectrum for people to give things away to sort of get noticed. I mean, you can't, if you're not getting it noticed, it's a great way to do that. So I think that, with all the social networking and everything else that goes on, it's kind of opened itself up to free media.
And for the artists, I mean, the money really is in the touring and the merchandise and that kind of thing. It's not really, you don't get that huge of a cut unless you have your own label. And all
right,
that.
sure,
so,
sure.
Makes sense. We're coming up on the time we normally would do Lawsuit of the Week. I don't think we have a Lawsuit of the Week this week. But if anybody watching or in the chat room wants to try to find something quick, please feel free.
Perhaps
But in the meantime, I thought we'd hit up our...
oh yeah, I was going to say perhaps a Yahoo shareholder is going to sue the company for getting scammed out of their buyout from Microsoft.
Unrequited love. The Microsoft and Yahoo merger that wasn't. Apparently Microsoft took their ball, they went home, they said, forget it.
Yep.
They raised their price, I believe, by $5 billion. Yahoo wanted $4 or $5 billion more to get to where they thought the company was valued. Microsoft said, forget it, we're out of here.
See you later.
And they called Alta Vista and Dogpile.
Lycos.
And Lycos. All three of those search engines, it's all one big conglomerate to take on Google. The concern was that this was going to have a major effect on the stock market. It wasn't. I mean, the Yahoo stock got hit pretty hard, but outside of that, not a lot happened.
Well, there was some question about what's Microsoft doing in the internet. What is Microsoft now going to do in the internet space? Because MSN is sort of like a teeter-tottering service. I mean, their search really isn't that well-known or popular. I mean, it's not like people are clamoring to get into MSN's, search.
Sure.
Unless
you're playing Chictionary. If you play Chictionary on the club.live.com, you play Chictionary for points. This is so clever on Microsoft's part. So basically, you're playing these different games, one of which is Chictionary. I'm sorry, I'm just running with it.
Just go ahead.
It's a tangent.
I'm with you.
As you play these games, and it's Mac compatible,
that's plus.
You earn points to get prizes and such, such as a Microsoft webcam. Huh?
Wow.
But
I know what I'm doing tonight.
But the thing that's clever about it is every time you're answering a question, it's actually running a search within their search engine. So it's a way of boosting their search numbers and boosting familiarity with their search.
Right.
You're basically rewarding people to inadvertently use their search engine. Now that's kind of low rent, if you ask me. For Microsoft.
Well, but that begs the question: what are they doing in the internet space? I mean, it's not a core competency of theirs. They've proven that they can compete, but they're not really at the top of their game. Some would question whether or not their software is at the top of their game.
Well, what is the core competency is eroding at this point, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean.
So you have to start looking somewhere else.
You do, and I think that's why they were rightly looking towards Yahoo, which is arguably the number 2 in the search game. I think that was probably a pretty good move on their part if they're really going to do something in the internet space, in the search space. That would be a good move for them. Didn't work out, but I think their head's in the right spot.
Here's a little factoid that's really hard to believe. We joke about Apple's cash on hand being just under $20 billion right now.
The silo.
Probably is $20 billion at this. I think it was 19.8 or something at the last quarterly results meeting. Here's a little factoid. About 2 years ago, Microsoft had $60 billion cash on hand ready to go. And they are now down to $26 billion. So Apple almost has more cash on hand than Microsoft. And if they had gone through this deal, Microsoft would actually be in debt for the first time. They would have had to borrow money in order to make this a reality. So it's hard to believe that Apple would have almost as much cash on hand as Microsoft.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Most of that money went out in share buybacks and that kind of thing to try to boost the value of the shares, which didn't really work. I'm being told that we might have a lead on the lawsuit of the week.
We have a lead from one of our loyal viewers, sending us.
This is Vince, I believe. In the chat. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong window. Now we can't see that. Oh, jeez. Do what you were doing. You were doing a great job.
All right.
I'll fill time while you look for that. Once again, don't forget the countdown widget is on the front page, so you can count down with us to WWDC 08. And just like with Macworld, we will have live coverage. I hate to say all day, because that might not be true, but for the most important part of the day, during and after Steve's keynote. Okay. So we'll see. Do we have a lawsuit of the week?
It looks like we do. It dates back to November 2004. Still going on. Flash memory with quick connector lawsuit.
This is the lawsuit we briefly touched upon last week. This involves the connector And as you said, that would explain it. Why don't I just say what you said? It's the connector lawsuit.
It's the connector lawsuit.
For flash
Yes.
drive, there's a flash drive maker who's suing for royalties because patents were violated regarding the dock connector.
Right.
I hope let's try to get the lawsuit of the week lined up a little earlier next week. It's Cinco de Mayo!
You would think that it wouldn't be hard. I dropped my pencil. Too many Coronas. Yeah, you'd think it would be easy to find these lawsuits of the week because Apple's always suing somebody or somebody's always suing Apple. It's not so.
We'll have one next week.
Not that they're not doing that. Not easy to find them.
Well, we might make it lawsuit and or patent of the week because there's always patent news to share with the folks.
Yeah. And if any of you know law students who are doing research and want a research internship, they can research our lawsuit of the week.
Very good. But thank you, Vince, for doing the legwork on that to find that, and we'll post that on our news page as well. Don't forget, if you missed something or you want to find out more or the sources for this stuff, because we don't make up all of it, you can go into the forum and look for the show notes for each show.
Okay.
It's not all made up.
It's not all made up.
Don't forget iPod game reviews, all of them on the games page. We're really excited to start doing iPhone game and app reviews as well. So if you're a developer of the iPhone, give us a call. See, that's the call. There needs to be a symbol for email.
Feedback at thedigital-lifestyle.tv. We could just have like some kind of banner come down and it would... Never mind.
Oh, look at the time. It's almost time to say goodbye.
Oh, let's not forget about the Apple stock in the 180s.
Yeah, how about that?
It's exciting. It's
early retirement. It's on its way back up, 183, 184. Let's hope it's at least that high when you're watching this. People are going to watch on Friday like, those were the good days.
Oh, yeah.
But hopefully it will continue upward and onward. Yep. And new root access this week. Don't forget about that. Jamie has... He took on a lot of questions this week.
Did he really?
Yes, and he had expert answers.
Well, he is an expert. He is a professional, if nothing else.
Some would say genius.
Some would say genius. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, I am too. I just had to think about it. You're right. Folks, thank you for watching. Enjoy your Cinco de Mayo, and if you're watching this on 6 de Mayo or Ocho de Mayo,
have a good one of those too.
Absolutely. And we'll do it again. When do you want to do it again? You want to do it next week?
I'd say let's do it next Monday. What do you say, 9 o'clock?
9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I believe it is 1 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. I'll double check on that. Until then, be sure to send us an email, feedback at thedigital-lifestyle.tv. Bye-bye, everybody.